gonna get right into it. I'm making this video because I don't see a lot of people talking about this kind of stuff, and I feel like it could be some useful information. I definitely could have used it when I was working on this bike. So I'm just gonna go front to back on the whole build. Everything I did, the brands I used, if I can remember them, for all the parts and things. So starting at the front, I just got my stock wheel, stock tire. I'm probably going to change that setup to a spoked setup one of these days, but I've got the TC Bros 6-over fork tubes, and I'll step back so you can kind of see the stance a little bit better. I don't know if the camera's showing or not, but it's leaning pretty good. It's not nothing crazy, but definitely first time riding it felt like my feet were in there. If you've never done this before, extending your own fork tubes and replacing the seals and things, it's actually a lot easier than you would think it would be. I'd never done it before, watched a couple YouTube videos, really wasn't nothing to it. I would say main thing is make sure you got some good, big, strong buddies to help you put these caps back on. And make sure you look in your user manual online and find out how much fluid to put back in. One hiccup that I had that hopefully you don't have is the person before me put lowering springs in these forks, and I had no clue until I took it apart. I'd done ordered the tubes and everything. They came in, and the tube kit came with the seals and everything you need. But yeah, I took the caps off and realized I had these long shim type deals, which is similar to what comes with this kit when you extend the forks, but it was just because it had such little short springs in there. So then I ended up, I had to order a set of progressive springs, kind of the OEM style, just the stuff that normally would come in these, and then installed the 6-over tubes and put those stock length progressive springs in there, and then put the little, it literally comes with PVC pipe that's like, I don't know, 6 inches long, I'm assuming, somewhere in there to make up for the extra length you get. But yeah, it's literally, you take these seals out, and there's a bunch of videos on it. You just take these seals out after you get the forks off and everything, and get your springs out first, of course, and stuff. But it's really nothing to it. You got to take loose up in here, there's a bolt for your dampeners that you have to take loose before you pull the seals out. But all right, I'm already talking too much about it. Like I say, there's a million videos on YouTube about it, and it's way easier than you'd think. For a headlight, I had to get a headlight that I could angle, because my stock headlight was like looking up at the trees. So this is a Drag Specialties headlight. I don't know what website I got it from, but it did not want to fit around these forks. I had to really bend these around. I actually took and put rags around the fork tubes and then just bent them around it, and I think I even bumped them with a hammer to get them to fit around. I don't know if they were made for smaller fork tubes or what, but it was advertised as 39 millimeter, so I don't know. These are just cheap LED turn signals that I just wired up to get rid of the ones that were up here, the big berry looking ones. I really didn't like those, and all I did is they stick out this way. I just flipped them over, but these are just cheap off Amazon. I really like the open area above the motor. I like that look, so I relocated my ignition switch, my ignition coils, with a little bracket I got off Amazon. And then I ordered the, I don't remember if the bracket, I did this is the oldest thing I did, so I really don't remember if it came with the plug wires or not. I did that 4 years ago. This bike used to be white, and I actually, I'll put a little picture in here so you can see what the bike looked like before. So the tank is actually a Sportster 48 tank. I like the little small chopper style tank that comes on those, and it was a direct fit. I didn't have to do any fabricating, stuff like that. I bought this little bracket that lifts the tank up off Amazon, so that way I could tuck all my wiring under here. That also opened up the little cavity above the motor, give it more of the old school look I was talking about. This is a Drag Specialties, I believe, 7-inch air cleaner. I really didn't like the filter it comes with. I mean, it's like a little thin, tiny little thing, but it is what it is. I did have like a cold air intake style one, and the bike really didn't like to run with that thing on there. But I put that one on there for some reason. It runs good. I haven't tuned it at all. Got these aftermarket pipes with no baffles. These are TCMT, like off-brand short shots. I like them. First thing I did is took the baffles out. I have no clue where the baffles are. But I did that like 5 years ago. Most recent stuff I did was the fork tubes, the tank, the bars. Painted the fender to match the tank. But moving on, these bars are a set of 12-inch rise narrow bottom apes. I couldn't tell you exactly what brand they are. They're all pretty much the same, as long as you get some. They're 1-inch diameter, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, little cheap chopper style mirrors. Like I say, if I can do this stuff, I mean, anybody should be able to do it. These risers, I really don't know what they are either. If I think of this stuff later, I'll just have like a little caption. I bought the bike with these Ford controls. These are actual like Harley Davidson brand Ford controls. They're pretty nice. I like them. I haven't really seen any other bikes with those. But the whole aesthetic of the bike, I mainly just wanted front to back to be cohesive. I didn't want anything to stick out and be out of place.